Greetings, I'm Rob Chapman. Let's talk about some things that I regret. I think it's always important to look back at your history, although maintaining a focus on the now, because all we have is memories now and imagination. But I think if you can learn from regrets, accept them, and then move forward, it makes you a better person and it gives you lessons that are really valuable. I recently did one of those Instagram polls where I said, ask me anything, AMA, and one of them was, any regrets? And I just kind of wrote, nah, nothing, I regret nothing, and then posted it, and I thought, actually, there are a few things I would have done differently. When I was 18, I had the incredible opportunity of going to London and studying at what was then called the Guitar Institute. So the Guitar Institute was the first, real college-affiliated guitar place where you could go and get, a degree in playing the guitar. Although actually, the degree course launched the month after I finished doing a one-year diploma. And I went to this place so full of energy and enthusiasm and passion, and the teachers were unbelievable. I had Sean Baxter, who's, if you know, you know. David Kilminster, Ian Scott, Barry Langton. I had the best of the best in England at the time teaching me how to play guitar. And man, it was hard because, I could play, but I wasn't good. And I had a lot of bad habits, in particular with the way that I picked. And they turned me from alternate into economy and hybrid, which was a brilliant journey. Anyway, at the same time as going to the Guitar Institute, I discovered girls and drink and takeaway food and parties and social groups and hanging out and all this kind of stuff, PlayStation. And I wish I had spent more time focusing on my studies at the Guitar Institute and less time turning up late to class, not learning the live performance workshop, selling off bits of gear so I could go to the kebab shop, all this stupid stuff that as a kid you just don't really think about. It's just impulsive, reflexive actions. If only I'd spent more time focusing. Because when it finished, I got all of the class notes, and then I realized I've got to get a job. What am I going to do? And I had to get a job in an opticians, and I was making glasses. I was the guy in the lab coat manufacturing spectacles, and I thought, man, this isn't kind of how it was supposed to pan out. And I got all the notes, and I learned every single note. Like I had an empty box here, box full of notes here, and I went on my desk, learn that, learn, put it in the empty box. And it took me a year to go through what I should have learned at college. So my first regret is not focusing enough on the task at hand when I had the luxury of time to learn. Anyone that's a parent with a job will understand what I'm talking about. Being able to have an hour to yourself to learn something is a luxury. It really is. Regret number 2. Not setting a clearly defined and measurable objective, defining making it. What is Rob Chapman going to do? What does he want to do with the guitar? Now, there's a reason that this is a problem, because if you get some success and you don't mark it, don't recognize it, you are continually chasing. And people that continually chase burn out. I ended up with panic attacks and mental health. I needed to take a break, man. I had heart palpitations and all sorts of stresses and strains when I was getting sort of 2.5 million views a month, demonstrating for Andertons, Thomann, Guitar Center. This whole journey took its toll because I didn't recognize the point when I needed to stop taking on more. And I'm not saying this as a humble brag. I'm saying it as a warning, because when you make money, when you get some successes, if you don't recognize them, the ceiling will kill you. It will crush you. So it's important to know how much you want of everything you're after so that you can say that's enough. And when you reach that that's enough point, try and stay there. Don't continually hunt. Because if you do, the downside is mental health issues, which become physical health issues, which result in all sorts of problems, and then you crash down. And then you need to recover before you can go up again. And it's a never-ending cycle. So setting those objectives, it's not just like, oh, it's a fun thing you should do. You should probably write on a piece of paper, I want to sell an album and I want to tour. You really should do it so that you know when you get there, so that you know when to sustain a particular level. Number 3, interacting in any way with haters. And let me explain why, because there were times when I really felt like I can kill them with kindness. I would reply with like, listen, man, I don't know you, you don't know me. If we met in a pub, probably we'd just start chatting and everything would be fine. But because there's a screen in between us and you think you've heard something about me that's probably just made up, you're coming at me with an aggressive thing, and why don't we just chill out? And then the thing is, you quickly learn that people who have a tendency to hate on the internet do so because it gives them a sense of power. And they won't stop doing that because then they lose that sense of power. So it's a never-ending cycle for somebody who has gone far enough that they want to aggressively hate on people on the internet. I mean, it's an odd thing. I often say to my friends or people that are getting into YouTube and they ask me for advice, I say, let me ask you a question. Do you ever comment on other people's videos? And most of them say, no, I just like watch the video and hit a like. Or if I do, it's like, something positive. And I say, yeah, you need to think about the kind of person who negatively comments, because you don't know what they're going through. They might have lost a family member, they might be 5 years old, they could have any number of issues going on that you don't understand. And you can't change any of that from behind a screen. So don't interact. So I feed the happy wolves. I always chat if I can to the nice people that support and are part of this family, and I just ignore or just turn a blind eye to the people that hate. And you will always have haters, because in a sea of billions of people, some of them are going to hate you, and that's completely fine, man. I mean, I am a kind of vibe that some people will like and some people won't. Whatever. Okay, last regret, and this is a bit of a weird one, but there was a time in my career where I was given the opportunity to move to America. I was doing some work with a guy called Eddie Kramer, who was a phenomenal, he was like a father figure to me, producer, engineer for Jimi Hendrix, Stones, Led Zeppelin, did some Beatles stuff, worked with Steve Vai, just mind-blowing. And I'd recorded with Eddie 3 times, twice at Abbey Road, once in North America at a studio there, and I kind of thought I should move to America, and there was an opportunity, but I didn't. And I didn't do it because I was afraid. I was scared of moving from England to a different country, different political, medical system, and yet the majority of the industry that I work within is American. The majority of people that follow me are Americans. And I think had I moved at that time, I probably would have found it easier to establish myself as a live player, get more into the session circuit, and do a couple of other things that I kind of wanted to achieve at the time. I didn't do it because I was afraid. And I soon sort of realized that, how do I put this articulately? When you've got a thing that you need to do, the putting it off is almost more painful than the just doing it. Do you know what I mean? I should just have moved to America at the time. But anyway, I'm very happy where I am now. I hope you've enjoyed this. I tried to learn from all of these little issues and bumps in the road, and I hopefully have a long road ahead of me without bumps. Have an amazing day. Thank you for watching. Chappers out.